Welcome back, guys. We are going to be doing something a little bit different to the usual strategy games. We're going to be playing a logistics game, which if you watched any of my Ixion playthroughs, then it's pretty similar to that, only it's not in space. And yeah, it's a pretty damn good game. I haven't had it for too long, so I've only played it for around about 50 hours, maybe a bit less, I'm not sure. But I've got a pretty good grasp of what I'm doing. I have to admit, I do always get a bit bored after I've got like a certain distance through the game, so I've never played the end game very well at all. I always want to start again and try something different. So, but the start of the game is really, really enjoyable. So we're going to be doing a free game, and I've already played on temperate and dry, so I'm going to give tropical a go. I'm going to have a medium map size, and I reckon medium on towns and industries. I'm going to go for a longish map rather than a square map. I just feel like it's a bit more interesting that way. Let's reduce the mainland a bit, so we've got some places that we can travel on the water. That looks quite nice. Let's see what happens if we change these islands. So that's bunched everything up. That is quite nice and elongated. Let's see what else we've got. Right, I think if we just stick to that, I reckon that's probably going to give us the best amount of water to land ratio. Just leave the hilliness and the forests on medium. And I reckon that's good enough. So let's jump in. Oh yeah, we need to choose our settings, of course. So I went for Europe with the temperate, USA with the dry, so Asia with the tropical. Sounds good to me. We're going to do an 1850 start on very hard, and I think 6 is harder than 2, I assume. Not 100% sure. I think it is. And the industry closure frequency, they only close if you're not using them, so you're safe to use this on very often. As long as you're actually using the industries, they won't close. And then this industry density, I'm not 100% sure what that means, so I'm just going to leave it on medium. Okay, let's go. Right, so the first thing you want to do is just pause the game so you don't start spending money. So the way it works is you start off with a loan of 5 million and you start paying interest on that loan immediately. Now your interest rate stays the same forever until you repay the loan, basically. So you need to pay this off as fast as possible, really, so you're not constantly paying interest. Now, if you click on the date, you can actually change the speed at which the date changes, so not just the speed of the game. They're two separate things. So what this will change is how fast you unlock new technology. So quite often the technology unlocks faster than you are actually playing the game. So you might want to turn it down. You can pause it if you want, so it just remains at the date that you're on. Or you can just put it on quarter speed or half speed. So we're just going to leave it as it is for now, but if things start getting a little bit hectic, then we can turn it down. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is look for a way to make money with ships. Now, most people, I'd assume, would try to make money with trucks, which makes sense. But you can get it done with ships. Now, I think the best thing to do, I don't know if we're going to have a route around here. It's quite possible. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to find an oil well. And you're going to want to transfer it to one of these refineries. Sorry, let me take this off. So you take the oil to a refinery, and then on its route back, if you have a connection that will use the oil refined, the refined oil, then you can actually set up a two-way transfer. So it'll take oil and then it'll bring back, so it'll take the fuel, sorry, the oil, what is this called? I don't actually know, crude oil. So it'll take the crude oil and then bring back the refined oil. And this is actually one place that you could do it. It's not ideal because the ship would have to go all the way around. This is ideal for trucks. But so what you would do is you would set up a transport route from the oil well with trucks, this is, to something that uses the refined oil. And then once you've got that set up, when your ships go and travel and take the crude oil, they'll bring back the refined oil, and then your trucks will take the refined oil over to the thing that you're using the refined oil in. So that way your ships will always be carrying something. So let's see if we can find something a little bit better. Now it looks like we could take this oil here, bring it down here to this oil well, oil refinery, sorry, then bring back the refined oil and then transfer it over to this fuel. So that is an option. Let's see if we have another option. So we've got an oil refinery here. So we could bring that down, possibly all the way down to here. To this oil well, or the other way around. And then on the way back, transport that over to this chemical plant. Then that way, the ships will be earning money on a huge distance upwards and then back downwards again. The only thing is I'm not sure if I can pass here. Looks like I can. So let's give that a go, shall we? Now, I think if we have a look at this chemical plant, the chemicals are, we have got somewhere that we can actually use the chemicals here, and we've got an iron thing here, so that would actually work out quite well. And we also have this here that uses iron, so as long as none of these actually disappear with the closure, that'd work out quite well. We've got iron and coal here that we can move over to this steel mill. We've actually got machines required here, so we could set up a nice little chain there. We've got logs and the planks there, which we can then send to here. So yeah, I think this is going to work out quite nicely. And then on the other side, so this is using this oil well. So we could use this refinery going up to this oil well, and then from this oil well to this fuel refinery. So we could do the same thing but in reverse. But there's no requests for fuel, sorry, in this direction, so it's a little bit pointless doing that over here at the moment. So yeah, let's set this up. So when you choose your cargo harbour, if you want to build oil ships, I can't think what they're bloody called now. Fuel tankers, that's the one. Then you're going to need a large cargo harbour. So make sure you click this large harbour here. So you can connect it directly to the resource. So as you can see there, the resource turns white. If it's a little bit too far inland, you then need to set up a truck station on either side to actually use it to transport it. So things that are close to the water is actually a really good thing to use, because it means that you don't have to set up a truck line. So let's do this. I could, if I wanted, move it a little bit further out actually, and then move a road over to it. So let's do that. So we just need these two blue connecting paths there. So now that is connected. You can check that it's connected just by clicking on it. And then everything it's connected to turns white. Okay, so we've got the harbour this side. So we're going to want this harbour here. So we're still on large. Set up a road. There we go, got the blue connectors there. That's that set up. Now we're going to need to actually build the ships, so a shipyard. And then to make sure that we're not making a wasted journey on the way back, let's set up. We're actually on urban roads at the moment, so let's set up a connection between here and here. So I'm not doing it direct, just because I don't want to interfere with the city, but you do get better profits the straighter, the more direct the journey is. So we're going to need a truck station. So we need to make sure this turns white. Oh no, sorry, it's the harbour that we need white. So this little bit of the harbour, we need that white. Let's see if we can do it over here. That's still white there. Right, so we can bring it all the way down here. And we need another one on this side. That'll work quite nicely there. And then we need a road depot. If you don't assign a vehicle, it won't bring back the resources, so make sure you assign the vehicle before you actually set off on your journey. Okay, so we've got that going up there, coming back, and then we've got the route between these two. So that's all we need. So let's set up the lines. So let's do the harbour first, shall we? Okay. So we don't want it to set off until it's full. So let's put this on full. Time up to maximum, so he doesn't depart until he's full. Then I'm going to use numbers for ships and trains, and I'm going to use letters for trucks. So let's set up a new line between this truck stop and this one is going to be A. Now same thing here, we don't want him to set off until he's full, which is going to be a very long time, but you need to assign one vehicle so they do actually bring something back. Okay, so we need a cargo transporter. We only want one for now, so we're not wasting money. We need to assign him to A. That'll now tell the ship to bring back the oil, the refined oil. And now on here, we're going to build an oil tanker. So we're just going to build one for now. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Ah, right, because I've got the eye turned on. If you've got this eye turned on, it only shows you what's actually on the screen at the moment, which is good for finding what's on the screen. Okay, so I'm only going to assign one ship at the moment, because I don't want to get the other ships moving until this has had time to actually refine some oil. So I'm going to wait for this first ship to get maybe about around here is probably enough time. So it's going to be a while until this happens, so let's go in triple speed. So as you can see here with these oil, these will pop up when you've got a line set up. Now if we didn't have this truck on here with this line, then at the other end the refined oil wouldn't be popping up on here. It just wouldn't produce any refined oil because it's got no demand. So things only produce when they've actually got demand. Okay, so he's full, so I'm just going to wait for him to move out a little bit. Maybe till about here is probably far enough. Now you can just duplicate ships if you click on them, then click manage vehicle, make sure it's ticked, and then you can just click this clone button and it'll just clone the ship. This is good to use because it automatically puts it on the same line that you're already on. Okay, I think that's about far enough. So let's start getting another ship out. Now what I'm going to do is just keep bringing ships out now constantly whenever there's enough oil to pick up. So these can pick up 90 oil. So when this gets to around about 30 or 50, I can bring another tanker out. So we can bring another one straight away. Let's just pin this so we can actually see. So we're just going to basically set up enough tankers to be able to make a constant stream of oil. Now, the way to find out how many ships you need is, if I just pause the game a second, if you click on your line, which is just here, it'll tell you your rate. Now, our rate at the moment is 46, so that's how much it takes. How much it'll deliver on a full journey with the ships that we've got assigned. So we've got 3 ships assigned, or is it 4, sorry. So they're transporting around about 11.5 per ship on a full cycle. Now, if you click on the natural resource that you're transporting, it's producing 400. So what we really want is for this rate to be at 400, which is obviously a lot of ships. So it's almost 40. So all we're going to be doing at the moment is building around about 38 ships, I reckon it'll probably be. And then we're going to have a constant stream of oil being sent, crude oil being sent, refined oil being brought back. Now, it doesn't actually matter about us using or transporting the synthetic oil, refined oil, sorry, over to the chemicals. That won't earn as much money. What will earn us the money is bringing the back and forth of the 2 resources. So you don't need to worry too much about assigning trucks to this line at the moment. That's there simply to tell the ships to bring the refined oil back. Okay, so we're going to run up a huge loan debt just to get all these ships out, basically. So every time I need it, I'm just going to keep borrowing. Okay, so the rate up here is just increased by 11. So like I say, we need probably around about 38 or 36, something like that. So we're going to be doing this for quite a while. So you can pin stuff around so you don't have to keep clicking on it. So obviously we need to see how much oil there is to pick up. So I brought this ship out a little bit too early because he's now sitting there not doing anything. So we need to see how much oil there is ready to be picked up. We need to see what rate we're on so we don't go above 400, and we need to keep this open to borrow the money to keep getting ships. Okay, so now it's up to around about 50. Borrow some more money. So once I've borrowed the max amount of money that I've actually able to borrow, which at the beginning of the game is 10 million, it goes up with depending on what year you're in. I don't know what the brackets are. Might be every 10 years or 20 years, I'm not sure. But once we've borrowed the maximum amount of money we can, we're going to take a journey on one of our ships. The game is beautiful, so it's lovely to just take a trip on a ship, or a train, or even a truck, and just watch the surrounding scenery. Right, so we're not going to be able to get too many more until we actually start to make a profit. So we're only going to be able to get one more after this. Okay, so that's all we can get at the moment. We can actually get one more. If we're quick about it. Because we're obviously running up a debt because we haven't started earning money yet. So let's get it now while we can. Okay, so that's all of our ships bought. Let's go and take a journey. We can close all these off for now. Don't need them at the moment. I play on so many different games that it's hard to remember which button's which. Middle mouse button, that's what I need. Let's just watch the scenery go by. So as you can see, we're paying cost on the maintenance, which is the main cost in the game, is your vehicle maintenance. So you obviously earn money for delivering goods. So you want to obviously earn more money than it costs to maintain the vehicle. And then you've also got these other costs, which is the infrastructure. So the infrastructure of the ports that we've set up and the truck stations is 140k a year. So we need to earn more than 140k per trip, more than the maintenance is, to break even. And then obviously anything more than that is a profit. Now we've obviously got these loan interests, which is costing us 100 grand a year. So we've got 100 grand plus 140 that we need to cover just to cover our costs at the moment. So let's have a look, see how much we're earning. So we earn 500k, maybe 600k on that journey. And then he's loading up with 45 oil, refined oil. So he'll now earn money on the journey back as well. Now, if you didn't set up the truck station, then obviously you're only earning money one direction, which is obviously bad. You don't want to be paying maintenance on an entire journey without earning any money for it. So although we're not actually really doing anything with this refined oil, we're just using it as a way to earn money transporting it. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's jump on our lead ship at the moment. So the lead ship hasn't actually got any refined oil because he was the first one to drop off. And the refinery hadn't refined it in time. So he's the first one that's actually bringing something back. So once he gets back, we could do with having either a cargo station built onto the truck station or a cargo depot, so we don't lose these resources, because the truck station can only hold so much resources, and if it goes over the amount that it can hold, you start to lose some resources to the overflow. So obviously what we really want, we can actually buy some more ships. So what we really want is to set up the truck line, obviously, so we're actually getting money for the resources. But at the moment we're going to earn more money from transporting this oil than we are from the trucks, so it's pretty pointless doing the trucks at the moment. We may as well spend the money on something a bit more valuable. So we might even just not bother buying cargo stations, because I don't think at the beginning of the game the horse and cart can even transport enough goods fast enough. So we'd just end up having to keep buying cargo stations, which you would have to pay an upkeep on the cargo stations, I think. Don't know how much it is, but I'm pretty sure you do have to pay an upkeep on everything. Okay, so we're earning money still, so let's just keep going, buying more and more of these vehicles, these oil tankers. And we're literally just going to go all the way up to 400 on this rate. I was a little bit slow clicking it there, unfortunately. We are still earning money. Let's have a quick look, see how many more we've got on the way. So just one more on the way this time. So we might be able to buy one more ship at the moment. And then we're going to have to wait for a short while to build more. So I'm just going to be rinse repeating for a short while. So I'll show you the oil being delivered first, and then I'll probably cut out this section where I'm just rinse repeating until I've got 400 rate. We haven't quite got enough money, unfortunately, to be able to buy another vehicle. He's not carrying the crude oil, sadly. The refined oil, sorry. So I'll just cut out this little section here. Okay, so now he's arriving with the refined oil. I'm going to earn some money for bringing it back. So we just got another 300k approximately. So he's now delivered this to this truck station. And straight away we're over capacity, so it is going to start losing some of the synthetic oil or refined oil, but we're not too fussed about that at the moment. Now he's then going to transport this refined oil and turn it into chemicals. Now what my plan is to make him have a double journey, so he's not wasting his journey on the way back. I'm going to set it up so he's bringing the chemicals back to this station, so he's earning money on both directions. And the way that we're going to do that is by using this harbour to transport the chemicals. Now we don't necessarily need to use this harbour if it gets too crowded, but I think the ships are spaced out far enough for 2 ships to be able to use the same harbour. I'm not 100% sure on that, but what you can do is just build another harbour here. I think you can actually build more than one terminal. That'd probably be a cheaper way of doing it. I've never actually done that, so I'll have to test out how that works. So to make sure that this harbour needs these chemicals, we would need to set up another harbour by somewhere that uses the chemicals. Now as far as I'm aware, yeah, this is the only industry that actually uses chemicals. So what we'd do is we'd set up a harbour here, transport these chemicals over to there. Now what would be ideal is if we actually brought something back with us, but I don't think that there's... we could potentially set up a line, a truck line from here to here, and then bring back the oil to here, and then set a truck line up from here to here. So he's actually bringing oil back and then using this oil here. So that is a potential thing that we could do, but I think that's a little bit too expensive to set up at the moment. So we're not going to worry too much about all of this quite yet. We're just planning for the future. But in the meantime, all I'm going to be doing is getting this rate up to 400. So it's going to be a bit boring for a short while, so I'll cut this section out. Okay, so I've got all of my ships built, and you'll probably notice that we've gone over the 400 rate. Now the reason for this is we're not just transporting the oil, the crude oil, we're transporting the synthetic oil. Now to crude oil gets converted into 1 synthetic oil. So really, the rate that we need for this line isn't 400, because it's 400 just for the crude oil. It's actually 600 because this gets turned into 200 refined oil. So the number that we're aiming for on here is actually 600. Now, I've had to stop building ships because there isn't actually enough space between each ship for them to dock and then load up for the next ship to be able to then dock and load up immediately without them queuing up waiting for the ships in front. So what we really need is a ship that's got a faster loading speed. So if we have a look on here, our current loading speed is 20. So what we really need is a ship that loads faster or a ship that can carry more. So we're stuck at the moment. We can't quite reach the 600 that we need for the rate until we actually get some better ships unlocked. Okay, so the next thing that we want to concentrate on, I reckon, is setting up this iron, because at the moment we've got a nice little cluster of what we need. The chemicals coming to here, getting turned into goods with a requirement of iron, which is right here, which has got a requirement of iron ore and coal, which is right here. So we've got everything that we need at the moment, and obviously we've got this machine's part that needs the iron from here. So everything here, these three in particular, are in a really good location. So because we've got industry closure on, we don't want these to close and appear somewhere else on the map. So to stop something from closing, you need to actually be utilising it. And by utilising it, I mean that it actually needs to transport the goods. So really, what we want to do is set up this iron first, maybe, then this chemical plant, then this machine factory, and then after this machine factory we'll need planks for that, so then we'll set up these planks because they're also really close. And we're also pretty lucky that we've currently got a tool factory here as well. So all of this cluster is actually really good location. Now when we use these coal and iron to turn into steel, this will start to level up when you get your shipment maxed out. So it doesn't level up when you've got your production maxed out, it levels up once you've got your shipment maxed out. Now shipment basically means demand. So you need to be shipping out your final product that you've created to the max before it levels up. When it levels up, it doubles all of your stats. So we would actually need 400 eventually. Well, we've currently got a coal mine and an iron ore mine also really close. So although we don't need them right now, once this is leveled up, we will need them. And with them being close, we might want to set up a line just to stop these two from closing as well. Now, this is going to cost quite a lot of money, but our ship trade is bringing in a lot of money. So we can make a loss on this truck route just to get them from preventing them from shutting down, just for the time being, because the ships can support it. So if we have a look, at the moment we're earning. Unfortunately it's a bit random at the moment because we've been buying ships which haven't been earning any money. So we can't see a final amount of what we're going to be earning. But it's probably going to be between 2 and 3 million, I would have thought. So we're going to get 2 to 3 million worth of money to support this industry that we'll be setting up. So the ideal situation would be to pay off the loan before I do any of this. But because they're in such a perfect location at the moment, I'm going to jump straight into doing these. Now, I'm tempted to start with this chemical factory first. Now, I don't know. I think it needs to ship out goods to prevent it from closing. It might just need to receive goods. I'm not sure. So we could test it. But I reckon that's going to be quite expensive to set up. I mean, what we could really do is set up another cargo lane so ships can dock here, so we can actually get this rate up to 600. We could then use this second ship cargo to ship over to here. So it'd have a dual purpose. So it would ship the chemicals over to here. Then once we've got this set up, it would ship over, pick up the iron, bring the iron back to here. And then we'd have pretty much most of our transporting would be used up. It would be transporting something. Most of our vehicles would be transporting something with not much in the way of travel time without actually moving any goods. So I reckon I might do that. So I'll set up. Yeah, because I don't want this to move. This could end up moving in a really horrible location. We've got another one all the way up here. But I can live with these iron and coal moving. We've got another steel mill here. So even if this moved, we could still use this one. It's not quite as ideal. But yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up another cargo run to fill out the 600 rate that we need for this, and to transport chemicals over to there. Right, so I can actually do this just by configuring the dock and adding in another large dock, and then just joining it on here. That way 2 ships, so I can have twice as many ships docking here now. So I'm going to continue building out the rate until I get to 600. Interesting. The rate's actually dropped down. Not quite sure why it's done that. It might just need some time to update. So I'm going to carry on building the ships out, and then I'll set up a transfer from here afterwards. Right. Apparently, if I put a dock on here, I'm not close enough to the shore to actually be able to put the landing pad onto the shore. And I've just checked, and it's just as cheap to build another one, I think. Yeah, it's practically the same price just to build another one. So that's what I'll do. Now, what I've just noticed is because the refinery is only shipping out 100, and the reason it's only shipping out 100 is because this chemical plant only produces 100. This oil well isn't actually producing all 400 that it can produce. So to make it produce the whole 400, at the moment it's only actually producing 200. So it's only producing 200 because 200 gets transferred into 100. So to make it actually produce more, we've got to set it up so this is using more than 100. Now, to get this to use more than 100, we've got to actually ship out all 100 of the chemicals for it to level up, so it can then produce 200, which will then make that ship out 200, which will then make it require 400, which will then mean that this actually pumps out all 400 that it's capable of, which at the moment it isn't doing. So that means that we have to set up a chain from here to here, so we can bring the chemicals over to here, transport them over to there, level this up, and then send the rest of the ships over to here. So that is what we're going to be doing. Now, for the time being, we're going to be losing a bit of money because these are queuing up. But we're making more than enough money for that to not be a problem. So we're going to have to wait a short while until we've actually got some money. I think what I can do is just borrow a bit of money because, oops, wrong button. Because I have repaid 1 million while I was building ships. So I could borrow another million. I've now got 2 million. So this doesn't need to be... Oh, it needs to be a large harbour if I'm going to be using it for oil tankers as well. So I am going to build a large harbour. It needs to be in range of this. So let's build it around there. Link it up with a road. So really I want the road to be as straight as possible. So let's do that. Now I'm going to need quite a lot of transport ships. Not ships, sorry, trucks. So we're going to need another harbour over here. Now this one doesn't need to be a large one. This can just be a small one. So we could stick that just here. Then we're going to need a ship that can transport chemicals. That's all we're going to need at the moment. Chemicals and iron. So these two can both transport chemicals and iron. So we're going to go for the faster ship, I reckon. Well, I might go for this one. It's quite a lot cheaper. Don't think 3 kilometers an hour is going to make too much difference. So let's build one of these. Then set up a new line from here to here. Tell him to wait until full. Then we're going to need a lot more transport from the chemical plant. So at the moment, this horse and cart can be upgraded, so let's upgrade this horse and cart. I think it can anyway. Maybe not. No, it can't. I thought I'd unlocked the next upgrade. Looks like I might have to wait just a short while. I think it's 1870 maybe. So let's have a look, see what we've just unlocked there. Still nothing yet. So I haven't got time to waste, unfortunately. So let's duplicate some of these. We need to shift 100 at the moment, so we need a rate of 100 on this line. So at the moment we're on 8. Let's just, we can't borrow any more money yet, we're just going to have to wait until we get some money in from the ships. At the moment, because these are piling up, I might just sell them. You get quite a lot of money back if you sell them quite early on. Let's just do that. We don't really need these ships sitting around waiting at the moment. Let's do that. Get this up to 100. Okay, that took a long time. Okay, 99, that'll do. Then we're going to need to set up a line to here, but you can't transport from a truck depot to a ship transport cargo thing. So we're going to need to build either a drop-off point or another truck station. So let's just build a drop-off point. Then set up a line from here to here. That'll then transport goods, the chemicals. Let's do that. Just realised I've built this far too close to here, because really what I want is this. It will fit, that's good. So now we can tell the blue line to use the other cargo hold so they're not getting in each other's way. Let's assign him to the blue line. So the pink line is a shipping line, so they're going to be numbers. Blue line is a truck line, so he's going to be letters. So now, because we've set this up, and because that's got a ship on it, Then when these get to here, they'll pick up the chemicals, bring them back to here, who are then going to move over to here. I think what I can do, rather than selling these, is just tell them not to wait until they're full before they depart. That would probably make more sense, rather than selling them and then buying them again. So let's tell them to depart as soon as they've taken all the resources available. Okay, so as you can see, we're now getting chemicals on here. So let's duplicate this. So what we're going to want is approximately a rate of 100 again. We're on 29 at the moment. So let's just go slightly over. Now really, these might get in each other's way. To prevent that from happening, you can extend these cargo holds, make them longer, so there's more waiting space so they don't get in each other's way. We'll do that if we need to. Okay, so while we're not using the money, I'm just going to keep repaying the loans so I'm not paying interest on them. The good thing is none of these have shut down yet. So if they start, these two in particular, if they look like they're about to shut, I'll just set up a line and put one truck on it just to prevent it from shutting. Okay, he's making his first chemical delivery, so now that'll prevent this from shutting, hopefully. I don't think you need to export to prevent it from shutting, I just think it needs the goods. It might actually need the iron, so it actually produces something. So I think I need to set this iron up as soon as possible, really. Okay, so let's eyeball this. By the time this gets back to here, it's going to be close to 70, and that's what it can carry. So you don't have to use the rate system if you want, you can just eyeball it. It's got a current rate of almost 100, which is the rate at which they're delivering, so it's practically spot on. So that's fine. Okay, so let's set up this iron. Right. So we're going to want a road going from here to here. We can do with it being as cheap as possible. Yeah, it's not going to be cheap, unfortunately. So I think before I build that road, let's see how far away we can build this. Okay, so that can be built here. So let's just do that for now. We can change it later if we need to. So that is going to cost a lot of money if we build it straight. Now, you can see it costs 1.1 million because it's building a tunnel. Now, if you just build it in little short bursts, like say from here to here, it doesn't build tunnels, it builds over land. So that's what we're going to be doing. As you can see, this is far cheaper than digging a tunnel. Okay, so that's that. Then we can just move this onto here. Then we need a pickup station. Oh, wrong button. For the coal. And a pickup station for the iron. I'm going to place them so they're not taking each other's resource, just so they don't complicate each other. So we're going to need a road depot, so let's stick that here. And we're going to need 2 lines, one for the iron, one for the coal. Right, let's just... I think what I'm going to do is have this one as A1 because they're part of the same chain. And then we're going to have these 2 as B and B1 because they're part of the same chain. There. What we will need is a cargo harbour here for the ship to hop over to here to pick up the iron and bring it back again. We'll set that up in a minute once we've actually got this up and running. I just put them both on the same one. I can't remember. No, I didn't. Good. So let's get them up and running. Right, so we're going to want to see the rate of each one of these. So let's open these up. Now we need to move 200 of these. Or do we need to move 400? I think we might actually need to move 400. Yeah, because we need 200. But it needs 2 of each. So it needs 400 of each to make 200 iron. So these rates need to be at 400. So let's just bring them out bit by bit. I'm going to have to wait for the shipping to bring in some money. Or we can just do this. Now, these are probably got a loading speed too slow to be able to actually ship 400 without needing to queue. So when it looks like they need to start queuing, that'll be when I stop building them. Okay, so we're just going to have to wait a short while. There we go, we got a bit of money come in from the shipping. Unfortunately, this oil refinery is shutting down. I was going to use that as another money maker, but it might appear somewhere half decent. Just have to cross our fingers. It was nice being all the way down here because the travel distance to all the way up here would have netted us a nice profit. but it's not a big deal. Alright, let's just go check on how the ships are queuing. So they're not queuing at the moment. But obviously we've set them to travel even when they've not got a full amount of cargo. So let's change that. Put this back to full. I just thought, are these using... yeah, they're using the same bloody... Right, so we're going to need to change the terminal so they're not trying to share the same terminal. That's my fault, I should have checked that. That's why they're all queuing up here. So I might have built far too many. We'll soon find out once they spread out again. So it's going to take a short while for this to sort itself out. I've got a feeling I've probably got too many on the iron one. But I'm not sure about the coal one yet. So we'll just give that a short while to sort itself out. While we're waiting, we're going to want to sort out this iron. So this has now gone up to 200. That's what we were after. Now that's gone up to 200. This oil well should start outputting twice as much oil, because the oil refinery is now outputting twice as much. So let's see how much this goes up by the time the next ship docks. Yeah, it's a full amount now, looks like anyway. So let's check what the rate was on this. So we're on 320. I'm not quite sure why it's saying 320. Should be a lot higher than that. Might just need to update itself, because this has only just started producing 200 or 100, sorry. Right. It might be because we need more ships on here moving the oil once this drops the oil off. So we're going to have to wait for a short while for this chain to sort itself out. So we'll come back and check on that in a bit. For the time being though, let's check on this. Okay, this is looking like it's sorted itself out. They're all docking, loading without a queue, and these are loading without a queue. So looks like we've got pretty much the perfect amount. We might be able to squeeze in a few more, so let's try it. Because really what we want is this rate to be at 400. But we might need to... we can actually upgrade now. No we can't. Oh yeah, that is an upgrade. 5 instead of 4. Because at the moment, I'm pretty sure these are 4. Yeah. So if we upgrade all of these, it's going to leave us with too much, I think. So we need 1.2 million. Doesn't make sense that this is the same price as this when this can transport all of the cargo and the other one can't. But we're going to need 1.2 million before we do that anyway, so we'll come back to that. We've almost got 1.2 million. But I want to see where that oil refinery has just popped up, because it's just been... Oh, it's right here. So it's moved from there to here. That's fine by me. So it looks like the blues are kind of queuing up slightly, but let's upgrade them. Not with that one, this one. Okay, so all of them are now upgraded. The rate is almost 400. So we could just tip it over, just get one more. Just to make sure. We just need a little bit more money. Okay, so the iron one is now fine, which is B. So we can take B off. We still need some more on B1. So they are queuing up a little bit on B. It's not ideal. So yeah, I think we do need to just be slightly below. Until we get a better vehicle. Say vehicle, it's a bloody horse. Right, let's just leave it at that for now. They might start getting in each other's way, preventing the light blue one from unloading, so I'll keep an eye on it. But let's go check on how our oil situation is. Interesting, it's actually backing up. So this hasn't worked. Ah, right. Wait a minute, let me have a think here. No, because it was transporting 11. I'm confused, man. Why is this oil refinery, this oil well, not producing enough oil? You know what? I don't actually know. It might be because I haven't finished the chain here with the iron, or it might not have anything to do with that. Because this is producing 400 and the rate of this is 365, so I haven't even reached, oh sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one, 385, so I haven't even reached the 400 rate, and I'm pretty sure that that's including the synthetic oil that we're bringing back, so it has to be because we haven't finished this chain. That's the only thing that I can think of. So, for the time being, let's just sell these, because at the moment, all they're doing is costing us money. I could just wait for them to actually... because they're on a chain, I'm going to lose money, whichever way I do it. So let's delete one more. Maybe two more. So let's do it from this side. We can just rebuy them again when we need them, once I figure out what's going on. Okay, so here still just about doing okay. I might just get rid of one of these so they're not blocking the other line, and then we're going to set up the cargo here. So this only needs to be a small one. Is that going to be close enough? That isn't close enough. I should have done this the other way around so I don't waste money destroying it. There we go. It's close enough there. Okay, so I won't need a delivery system. So let's set up, we don't need to set up a new line, we just need to extend this line out to include that port. Then it's going to pick the iron up and we want it to bring it back here, so let's do that. Okay. It might be better off creating a new line, having one doing that and then this one doing this. That probably makes more sense actually. So let's buy another ship. Right, what have we actually got here? So this one's the new one. Right, this one can be on iron duty. It's got 2 compartments, so it can carry 2 things if it needs to. Right, it can load 100. Yeah, that'll do. So let's buy that. And then let's set up a new line from here to here. Unable. Ah, this is a big ship, is it? Okay. So we're going to need a large dock. Looks like I've built it in a position where I can't actually fit a large dock on. So this hasn't gone quite according to plan. Wasting a bit of money here. So, large dock. There we go. It's a bit weird. I don't understand how that's... maybe it's going to delete that little bit there. Ah, is this collision because that hasn't finished destroying? I'm not sure. Let's see what happens if we build it here. No, dock outside, navigable. Navigable? Navigable. Right. Bit awkward. I'm certain that we'll be able to do this. There we go. It's letting us do it there. So yeah, we've wasted a bit of cash doing this, but we'll survive. Ah, we've already got it set up. Ah, we need to do it for this one as well. Wonder if it'll let us actually put the large dock on. Ah, that's the passenger one. No, it's not letting us put the large dock on at the front. Must not be in a decent position for it. Might let me do it there actually. That might work. Let's try that out. Ah, we need to wait for some cash because I can't borrow any. Right, let's see if this is going to work. Interesting. He's bringing the chemicals back again. Obviously we've cocked up his waypoints. So let's remove 3 and 4 because we're not going to be using that ship anymore. And then tell him to turn around. Interesting. He's not actually docking on here now. Oh no, he is turning around now. That's good. I thought he was refusing to turn around for a second then. Right, so this definitely hasn't been a masterclass. Yeah, I'm confused why this isn't actually producing 400 like it's meant to. It has to be, because we haven't finished this chain. Because this only needs... Oh no, this needs 400. Ah, the shipment's only 100, so maybe it's only producing what it needs. I don't know. I don't know, it's confusing me. It is confusing me. Alright, well we may as well just delete a couple more. Although there is a large gap here. Yeah, there's large gaps here and there, so let's just leave them for now. Did that ship not get joined up? I obviously needed to... Unable to find path. No path for big ships. Something's not right here. I'm gonna have to bloody delete it, I reckon. So that's large. Right, looks like he is actually moving now. So I'm not quite sure what was going on there. Maybe I needed to build something here. I've not really messed about with customizing these shipyards, so I don't 100% know. I might have needed to build a thing on the back here. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure. But anyway, let's see what this does for the oil well. See if it changes its output at all. Okay, this is doing okay. Probably don't need a couple of these, so let's get rid of 2 of them, maybe 3, possibly even 4. Let's just do that. There's no point in having them queue up if we don't need to. Just wasted money. So we'll come back and check on that in a bit. Okay, so he's almost at max, but not quite. Let's see what the rate is of this. The rate is 176, which is basically the same as the production. So let's just leave that as it is. And then we might potentially need to find somewhere to send these goods, I don't know. So if we can send them somewhere that's got an oil well near it, like here, we could bring the oil back and send the oil to this oil well via a road. So I think that's what we're going to do. It definitely doesn't look like it's speeded this up. The rate is still 365. Very strange. Right, well, this episode's gone on for quite a long time, so I think what I'm going to do is call it an end to this episode, and then in the next one, I'm going to set up shipping of this goods out to this city, and I'll pick up this oil, bring that with me. Could just pick up this one, it's right next to the coast. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Right, yeah, that's for next episode anyway, so we'll call it a day for this one. So if you've enjoyed the series, or the episode, sorry, then please drop a like, let me know that you've enjoyed it, and I'll make some more of these videos. Obviously, if nobody's interested, then I'll just play it on my own. So cheers for watching, take care, and I shall see you soon.